Hi guys, I hope you're having a good one. In this video we have a Hella Humbrol 1/72 scale Gloster Javalin T.3. This current box is a 1985 reboxing. The tooling is Hella, just Hella on its own, from 1981. One of my favourite bits is having the actual model on the box. And I love the colour scheme. I know that some people don't care, but it just looks like a premium product. See here we have a really good image of it here. On the side we have more of it. I like this image here of the cockpit. Here's the logo, in fact. Here's the kit number if you fancy getting one for yourself. We've got made in France. And then we've got the rear here. Then the paints. We've got Hella paints and Humbrol paints. And then description. I guess it comes with two schemes. And the size of the actual model. With 49 parts. So let's crack it open. We have our instructions on top. The decals, they have a little bit of yellow in. About a week at the window and they'll be fine. Now the clears are not in a separate baggie, which is, I don't like that because it can get scuffed in transit and stuff like that. And there's quite a bit of detail here from what I can see just in the bags. And not much flash. Quite a clean looking kit. We'll start off with the sprues and have a closer look from there. Starting off with sprue 1 out of 3, which I do like. They've kept it pretty basic, just sprue 1, sprue 2, sprue 3. No alphabetical stuff or anything like that. I'm looking at the tooling and it has raised panel lines. And with most old kits with raised panel lines, well 90% of them, you meet in the middle with a fuselage and then you have to sand down that seam, don't you? But the risk is you lose the panel line detail with it being raised. I don't know whether they did this on purpose or not, but here we obviously have to go top to bottom. So we sand off at the edges here, which means if you do happen to accidentally over sand a bit, you're only going to lose it at the edges here. Whereas if you was doing it like most traditional kits, from fuselage coming into the middle, look at all this you could risk losing on the raised panels. So I don't know whether they did that on purpose or not, but it's a nice idea if they did. Here we have our control panels, 11, 12. You need to get your fine brush for that. Some nice little detail. Turn it over, we've got some cockpit detail here, the little buttons on the side. So a nice little detail there. There's no flash, seemingly anywhere. You've got bits on the edges here, but they've kept off the flash where it counts, which is obviously the model. I'll bring it up closer so you can see. Very clean. Nice, heavy, raised panel lines. It looks like a lovely aircraft. Again, the control panels. Number 6, no flash. Really clean. There's not much detail on the seats, nothing to write home about, but they're still pretty nice. Turn it over for the connecting points. Here's the Hella logo. Not Hella Humbrol because obviously this was just Hella in 1981, the tooling, so there will be no Humbrol like logo stamped on. There's your little connecting points. Lovely. Here's the rear bit. Number 10. Yeah, it's a clean sprue. Alright, that's number 1. Next to number 2, pretty simple. Now we have the bottom half of the plane. Nice little bit of detail here. No Hella logo here. Let's have a closer look. See, where is it? Here you can see where the tooling, you might have to do a bit of sanding here. where you can see the little pin, like the pin pressure points, you know, to push it off the sprue, the pins. But it's very light, a couple of seconds of sanding, and that's cleaned off. You have 3 on each. More raised stuff here, but very clean. And these bits here, you can obviously gather, would sit right there and there. And the other side is, yeah, over there. Here's the connecting points. Look at all those raised panel lines. Pretty nice. With the tooling, this is quite weighty. So you can see, it's very stuff. I'll just, with this hand, you can. So showing you is a bit of a pain, I'll be honest. Very nice. Let's move over to sprue 3. And here we have the last of it. So you've got the rear bit here that goes on top. There's the other half. I mean, that's in. Yeah, they're in. It's very bouncy. See these wave marks, that's nothing to be concerned about if you're new to the hobby. But overall, really clean. Let's turn it over for the connecting points. Not much to look at, but I know some people like to see the connecting points. Some people don't like to deal with them and just straight off chop them off and then just slather a load of glue. I mean, I've done that in the past. Because they won't always line up to the other side. It's just easier to chop off these ends and then smother them in glue. Don't obviously go crazy, but put a bit of glue at the edges and it'll do just as good job. Move over to the clears. Surprisingly, not many big scratch marks on this canopy. Considering it's been in the same baggie with the sprues over the years, shuffling around, there doesn't seem to be any major scratch marks. They're not perfect by any means, not as ICM or Tamiya. Not too bad. I'll get my Mocha set. I don't think you're going to be able to see anything clear through it because of the warping of the canopy, but I'll do it just to see. Yeah, they're fine. They're not great. You can see the Mocro. Again, the Mocro. Then we have our sights. You take your pick for whichever version you pick. And then the other one. Not too bad. You can see by the instructions it's not the biggest build. It's all on one sheet. On the side here we have the history and the specifications in various different languages. I'll bring this up so you can have a read. Pause if I'm going too quick. Right, we'll zoom in a bit more and we'll look at the construction. So step 1, step 2, and then 3, 4, and then 5. The bottom and top go together. But before you do that, make sure you put a bit of weight in the nose. The only thing is it doesn't tell you how many grams you need to put in the nose. So it's a bit of a guessing game. And then 6 and 7. You turn it over and then you've got your 2 variations. In the middle here you have your paints, the 3 main paints you'll need, and then your decal layout. So you pick either one depending on which one you want to build. So I'll put it here, have a look, and I'll turn it back over. You can pause here, for example, have a look for yourself. Now we're going to move on to the final bit, which is the decals. Decals definitely have some yellowing going on. They're going to need about a week at the window for some sun bleaching, and you can see there's some scratch marks here and here. I'm definitely going to give them a clear coat of lacquer because they're giving me that vibe of as soon as they hit the water, they're going to fragment. I don't trust them. You can just see, look at the back here, look at that. If you're doing the variations, you will need the number 2s at the bottom for here, and you'll see by the back here you need the bird 4 and 5, and there's no stripes at the top here, which would be 22 and 21. If you're doing 23, sorry, and 22, the stripes at the top, and then you've got the difference here where it'll be number 20 and 20 at the back here. So yeah, I don't know, yeah, definitely they're going to need some treatment of sun and clear coat. That's the whole kit. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.